3,000 steps. I think somebody's took over my mat. I think you're going to have to move, legs. I'll mute the sound as well, because that will help. It's Monday morning, my brain will kick in at some point. There we go. Mute all. Perfect. Nearly perfect. There we go. All right, ladies and gents, after a nice relaxing weekend, we're ready to get going. So again, your work area nice and clear, nothing to slip or trip with. Water to hand if you need it. And then we're ready to roll. So feet underneath your hips, hands by your thighs, and a nice long spine. So let's get the shoulders released first. Just coming into our shoulder rolls. As you're moving through the shoulders, you're gently drawing in your tummy. Hang on, we've still got some sound on somewhere. That's better. Perfect. Now perfect. Very perfect on a Monday morning. Start to lift the elbows whenever you're ready. So as you're lifting your elbows and squeezing your shoulder blades together, you want to start to really open up through your chest. And as you're moving through the arms, you're keeping that brace through your core, so the trunk of your body stays nice and still. And a couple more circles here, and then arms stay in line with the shoulders. Crossing the arms and adding in a heel lift. So as you open the arms, just let the heels gently lift off the ground. Try not to let your ankles roll apart as you lift the heels. So you're just pressing down with the balls of the feet. Little squeeze through the bottom. And a nice big squeeze back into your shoulder blades. So your chest really starts to open. Now from here, we're going to move to a diagonal. So your right arm opens to the top. And then your opposite arm to the bottom. Keep pressing through the balls of your feet and lifting up through the heels. So getting those calves working. Getting a little bit of mobility through the ankles. And again, a nice strong core all the way through. And from here, I've got one more each side. Then we're going to take a step and we're going to twist. So hands by your thighs. Right foot steps forward and then step back. Right foot forward and then back. So you're stepping in front and then behind. You're turning to your right and then over to your left. Now again, a little squeeze the bottom so the hips stay nice and square. And just letting the turn come through the head, shoulders and the upper back. Okay, once more forward and back, and then we'll do that on the other side. I've got to change sides. Left leg forward, your twist, and then turn to your right. So let your body turn all the way around. Just let the arms wrap around your body. And you want to keep pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, so you've got that nice long spine all the way through. And once more, there and back. And then you can just step into the middle. Everything nice and square to the front, right leg forward, little step, and then pushing back. So as we step forward, we're going to lift the arms. So get a little stretch through the front of the shoulders. As you push back, you're going to press through the heel, so we start to get the glutes active. And you're trying to get your feet right underneath your hips every time. Then when you feel ready, you can take your step just a little bit longer. Use the in-breath as you step forward, and use the out-breath as you step back. And again, you don't have to make those movements too big. You just take a nice small step. We're going to take a side bend, so a little tip over to your right, and a little tip over to your left. You're letting your ribs lift up away from your hips. You can let your eye gaze follow your hands. And you're starting to let your ribs lift right up off the hips each time. So get more stretch down the front and more movement through the back. Okay, once more here to your left and then stay in the centre. Feet under your hips, shoulders back, your left hand to your head and some lateral flexion now. Just easing your hands down towards your knee, making sure your left foot stays anchored to the floor. If you let your left heel or your foot lift, the hips will push out to the side. So you're trying to keep the hips and the feet nice and still and just let the movement through the waist. Reach up whenever you're ready and then back into the centre. So you're pushing your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And again, getting lots of movement through the spine. But you're trying to get your tailbone gently tucked under, so keep those hips nice and centered. And once more on this side. And change sides. So your left hand down, right hand up, shoulders back. Breathing as you ease down and out with the lift. So again, let your weight sit evenly into both heels. Trying to keep those feet as still as you can. Knees are soft. Little squeeze into the bottom. And then a reach whenever you're ready. So again, just getting the side of the body open even more now. Get the feeling you're trying to touch the ceiling and your left knee at the same time. And use that in-breath and the out-breath as you rise. And give me 2 more on this side. Okay, we're ready for our squats next. We're going to work with the arms. So you're going to bring your hands down by your thighs. Take your feet a little wider than your set position. And once you're here, you're in your neutral spine, so your tailbone is tucked under. You're going to sit into your squat, lift the arms forward, and then pull the arms up and rise. So sweep the arms forward, pull them back to your thighs. Breathe in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. Now again, you can start to let the arms come higher whenever you're ready. But think about your back. You're trying to get your tummy button drawn towards the spine to keep a nice, strong, neutral position. Knees at the bottom, always in line with your toes. And we're going to lift the heels as we rise. So as you rise, pull the shoulders back. Breathe in, push the hips back, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. So again, you're getting that connection down to the back of your body. You let your hands come behind your hips. And a big squeeze into the bottom as you rise. And press through the balls of the feet to lift the heels. And give me 4 more, a little deeper if you can. And again, option just to keep the arms in line with your shoulders. Last 2. And then you're going to rest in the centre. You're going to pause in the centre. Then we're going to go to our side lunge. So hands by your thighs, you're going to lift the arms and your twist, and then back into the middle. So just getting everything moving in every direction possible. As you come into your side lunge, you're working to keep your shoulders stacked above your hips. So your spine always stays nice and long. That's going to make the rotation a little easier, and maybe help you to go a little bit further. Now your left leg is nice and strong. So you're squeezing your left thigh, and you're keeping your left foot anchored to the ground. And you can do that once more this direction. We're going to have a change of direction this time, so feet back under hips, over to your left. So you don't have to go too big. You're breathing in, out to turn. Now it's your right leg, that wants to be really strong and grounded. As you turn, you're trying to get your hips square to the front and just turning through your upper body. So the waist gets to start doing some work too. Now let the head turn a little bit further if you can. And 2 more this way. So everything's nice and loose. And now we can add in some weight. So grab 2 weights to begin with. Go with small to medium. I'm going to move this so I don't keep tripping up. Right, we're going to come to a forward stepping lunge, and we're going to do alternate shoulder raises. So both heels under hips, feet hip distance, shoulders set back. Your right leg steps forward. You lift your left arm, then your right arm, and now you're going to push back. Left foot forward, bend your back knee, and then alternate shoulder raises. When you step forward, you're on that front knee to stack over the heel. You don't want to fall over like me this morning. Now it's when you step back, you're going to really push down through that front heel and try and land your feet back under the hips. See if then you can bend your back knee just a little bit more so you get more stretch through the front of your hips. Tucking under your tailbone just before you lower that back knee really helps to stretch out the hip flexors. Now again, shoulders staying above the hips, that back stays nice and long. And then think about that front knee. You might notice it starts to drop in. So you're trying to press your knee gently outwards towards the little toe. That's going to help to keep the outer thigh muscles switched on and give us more stability around our hips. Now we're going to do one more with our left leg. Then we're going to come again with our right foot forward and we're going to stay forward. Both arms get to work together this time. So you're going to stay here, bend your back knee, lift your chest, push out the heels and lift both arms. Breathe in as you sink, out with the lift. Little tuck under with the bottom. You're halfway, or left. Breathe out as you rise. Pull the shoulder blades down into the back of the ribs. And one more time. And then as you lower your weights, hold, push back. Change sides. So your left foot forward, square the hips first, bend into the back knee, roll shoulders back, push and rise. Rise and shine. Breathe in as you sink. Now again, you want to feel the stretch down the front of your right hip, so tuck under the bottom all the way through. That'll make some of the movements a little bit easier later, promise. 2 more. And then your last one, hands come all the way down to your thighs, and then you're pushing back into the centre. From here, your weight in front of your thighs. You're going to pull the shoulders back, front raisers. You're going to sit back with the hips, one arm to shoulder height, then the other, and then pull your weights back into your thighs. So with your weights, they want to stop just above your knees. And this is start bringing work into the back of the shoulder. Now your option is to let the arm come a little higher, but you're still trying to keep the arm nice and straight. Every time when you rise, it's a push out the heels. But when you're in this position at the bottom, draw the belly button to the spine. If you're locking that position in really strong. Okay, give me 2 more here. And into your last one. So you've probably guessed we're going to come on to single legs next with both arms. If you prefer, stay here. If you can, take your right leg back. Again, you can stay here and just lift both arms. Or whenever you're ready, you can start to lift the back foot as well. Now you don't have to lean too far forwards. Just brace in your core and try not to let the shoulders come forward of the ears. So you're still pulling those shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs. Now we're going to do 5 more. And if you want to, see if you can tip a little further forward. So you're tipping and reaching, breathing out as you go, and a breath in to rise. And your last one here. Bring the knee in, so your knee's in line with your hips, and then we do a little bicep curl with a leg extension. Now you can just tap your toes together, or you can lift that knee forward, back. So yeah, a little bit of work into the glutes on that leg extension. Standing knee soft all the way through. And again, 3, brace, 2, and your last one. And then you can step down. It is rather warm this morning, isn't it? It's not just me. Change legs when you're ready. So your weights come back to the front of your thighs, shoulders are set. And then from here, you're going to lift the leg in the arms. And again, you don't have to lift the leg. What you can do is just put your weight into your heel, into your right heel. Keep pressing down through the heel. If you're lifting your leg, you're squeezing the thigh, so your toes stay pointing to the floor and that leg stays nice and long. You're breathing out with each lift. And again, you can start to add that little tip forward. So you're lengthening as you tip, but remember you can just stay here as well. 2 more. And then this time, your weights come down to the side of your thighs. You're going to lift your knee. You're going to curl as you extend your leg. And you can also bring the shoulders right back above the hips and tip forward as you curl. And again, if that's too much, foot down, or just take that little tap back and forwards. And give me 4 more. 4, tap, 3, tap, 2, brace, and then step in. And release. Let's go wide squats. Feet outside the hips. Now your toes turned out to a diagonal position. Your shoulders are drawing back and down into the ribs. And from here, we're going to bring both weights to the front. We're going to go down into our squat. We're going to lift. We're going to pull the arms wide, come into the centre, and then pull down. So we lift, open, squeeze into the centre, and elbows back to your shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out with a lift. Breath in as you ease down to the hips, out with a lift. Breath in as you open, and out with a rise. Now check in on your knees again. They want to push out towards your toes. Your hips stop, just above your knees each time. And then again, lift that chest up nice and high. Now keep the back nice and straight. If you need less, just don't go as deep. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Big extension up, opening, closing, and once more. And then you're going to stop here at the bottom. You're going to bring your weights down, roll the shoulders back, bicep curl your squats. So your weights stay facing inwards. You're just bringing your weights towards the front of your shoulders. And then again, you're squeezing the bottom as you drive your hips back under your shoulders. And you're pushing down through both heels. Now we're going to go halves. We're going to come down, half, come down, up, down, half, down, up. 8 more. So nice and small in that bottom half of your squat. You're only rising halfway up. And keep pushing out those knees really wide at the bottom. Focus on keeping those shoulders stacked above the hips. I think that's halfway. Now you've got 4 left. Deep into the hips. Squeeze up, and again. Open the knees wide at the bottom. Last 3. Want to hold on a little bit longer? Of course you do. Let's stay at the bottom and turn your weights in. Stay with your squat and just curl from side to side. Now push the knees out. Lift the ribs up again. Don't let anything else move apart from your arms. Strong through your core now. If you need less, just come to standing. We can do 4 more on each arm. 4, 3, 2, the last one each arm, and then push through the heels and rise up. Try and walk your feet back in. Good news is you can lose one of your weights. Bad news is we're not lying down just yet. Nearly. Okay, let's go back to that side lunge with our lift. So from here, you're going to do your weight facing forwards. You're going to step and twist and then pull back into the centre. So it's all one flowing movement. Left foot, staying flat. If you can't lift the knee, just tap onto the floor. But as you rise, I want you to hold your balance for a second. Then go again. So you're keeping that control all the way through. You can step a little wider. And you can even make the arms bigger. So you can reach up to the ceiling and then into your little twist. Or you can just keep the arms bent and just turn with the chest. 2 more. Your last one. And then you can step down. Nearly having to lie down. Let's go the other way first. Bend both knees, elbows are bent, so your elbows are tucked in here. Step and twist, and then back into the centre. Now remember when we did our warm-up, talked about keeping those shoulders stacked above the hips the whole way through. Add in the knee lift, or come to a toe tap, or straight arms out, and then up. So you'll turn to the side, and then you're pulling the arms just in front of your ears. Hold your balance for a second, then step across. Big breath into twist. Strong out breath with a lift. Give me 2 more on this side. And then you can definitely have a lie down, I promise. And step down. Release your shoulders. Make yourself comfortable on your back to begin with. Both weights to hand. And we're going to do some bridges. We're going to have the feet nice and close to our bottom. So you look at your heels, spin underneath your knees. Elbows in by your ribs. And you're just going to roll your shoulders down to the back of your ribs, so they're nicely pressed on the ground. Now keep that chin tucked in. We're just going to go up into a bridge, and we start from the top. Both arms we open for a fly, as your hips just come to a hover, and then you're squeezing the bottom as you lift the hips. Now as you go up and down for your bridge, almost feel like it's a roll through the spine, trying to bring each vertebrae down one at a time, but not quite putting the bottom on the floor. So just rolling through your upper back, just roughly towards the bottom rib. And then a strong squeeze into the bottom as you lift. And you can give me 4 more here. Elbows are soft, but your arms are staying nice and long, and your weight's always in line with your heart. Now you're going to stay at the top, squeeze the bottom, bend your left arm and lift your right heel. Now you're going to alternate. So your opposite arm bends, you're just pedaling through the feet. Now you're squeezing the bottom to stop the hips rocking from side to side. You're keeping your elbows stacked above your shoulders, so always pointing up towards the ceiling. And just feel like your weight brushes past your ear. Then focus on your hips. Make sure they're not rocking from side to side. So you keep squeezing the bottom, it's keeping the hips nice and still. You're just coming up onto the ball of your foot. And you're going to give me 4 more again. Last 2 on each side. And then you're going to try both arms and both heels this time. So bring your heels down. Bend both elbows, taking a breath in, and then breathe out, place your heels down. If you don't want to add the heel raise, just stay with the feet flat. But keep squeezing your bottom. So you're keeping the hips, shoulders, knees in line. You're halfway, you've only got 4 left here. Now give that bottom a really big squeeze as you extend. 2 more. And into your last one. And then you get to bring it all back down. Rest. Lose 1 weight. Okay, as we lose one of our weights, we're going to bring the knees above the hips this time. So knees are at 90 degrees. Soft imprint, so you feel your lower back is pressing into the ground. And you're going to work with your right arm and your left leg. Now from here, try not to let the shoulders roll to the side. You're going to extend and hold, and you're going to squeeze back into the middle. As you extend your leg, you'll feel that your lower back wants to gently lift away from the ground. So just before you go, press the lower back down. Try and hold that contact between your lower back and the mat. If you can let your heel go a little bit deeper towards the ground. Think about like your left leg, that wants to stay nice and still all the way through. Now just be aware the head doesn't start to tip back. So you're still trying to keep that length into the back of the neck. Breathe it in slowly as you lower, out with a lift. Feeling that contact between your lower back and the mat all the way through. Give me 2 more. And then we're going to simply change sides at the top. Now if you find it difficult with the legs up, you can just bring the feet down. You can just slide the heel away and then bring the foot lightly back onto the floor. But if you're going to have your feet on the floor, try and keep the left foot really light, as if it's resting on an eggshell. So you're not pushing through the foot to stabilise your hips. You're working your tummy muscles, making sure they stay nice and strong. Keep the spine and the hips still. Again, just aware the head hasn't tipped back. Use the in-breath as you ease down. Out-breath strong. In through the nose. out through the mouth. Last 2 again. Go a little lower if it's for you. And one more time. And then you're going to rest here. Bring both the feet down. Take your weight in both hands, so your arms are directly above your shoulders. Now from here, we're going to bring both knees back above the hips so you can keep the feet down. Alternating the legs with a tricep extension this time. So you've got your contact between your back and your mat. We're just going to go with single legs at first. Keep that contact the whole way through. Now for your last 6, both arms and legs if you can. If you need less, just work with the arms. Again, we're just getting that little bit of overload into the backs of the arms. Nice and strong through our core. And then you can rest. And you can bring it all down. And then all the shoulders are prepped, the arms and the chest, for some press-ups. Just a few, I promise. 2 sets of 8, that's all we need. So we're going to take the hands wide as we come into our press-ups. We're going to think about the shoulders. So when we come down into our press-up, we don't just want to let our chest and our back sink. Once you've got your fingertips facing forward, so you're going to bring your nose in line with your fingertips and pull your shoulders away from your ears. Draw the belly up, knees or toes, just 8. Now don't let the back change position. It's almost as if you're doing a plank. Sometimes it's easier just let the chest drop, but then everything's out of alignment. So you need to keep your weight forward into your hands, breathing in as you lower down, out with a lift, pushing your elbows out to the sides, and you're already halfway, just 4 left. Breathe out through the mouth as you rise. Gentle breath in as you ease down. And 1 more. And then ease back onto your heels. Ease your hips back to your heels and release your wrists. Now we're going to do those press-ups again, but we're going to add a little bit more work for our obliques. If you prefer, you can stay here and do what we've just done. You can make it a little easier by bringing the knees more under the hips, but still keeping that plank position. A little bit harder. As we lower down into our press-up, we're going to tap the right foot out, knee down, and then your left foot out and your knee down. Just 4 on each side, so 8 altogether. Shoulders are set. Bring your weight gently into the hands. Draw the belly up. Breathe in, out to push. Knees again, just come back in line with the hips. And you're halfway again. You've only got 4 left on each, not on each side. 4 left altogether. Make sure the head doesn't drop below the shoulders. So neck and shoulders nice and strong. That's your last one. That weren't too bad, was it? Was it? Come forward when you're ready. Take a lie down. Now from here, you just let your head rest on your hands, and we're going to work with the legs. You're going to squeeze the front of your thighs so your legs are straight. You're going to draw your belly up towards your back and let the head rest. From here, you're going to do a double leg lift. And I just want you to focus, first of all, as you're lifting your legs, that you're not pressing your belly back into the floor. Now, there's only about 15 degrees of movement going back through the hips. So don't lift too high. Any further than that will definitely come into your back. So you're trying to keep your core strong. You're trying to keep your legs straight. And you're physically squeezing the bottom as you lift your legs. Now you're going to hold them at the top. And you're going to take your arms back, palms towards the ceiling. You're going to lift the chest, and then you're going to lower down. You're going to try and keep the legs lifted for 4. Pull the shoulder blades down into the ribs, and then lower everything down. Feel the hamstrings and your glutes. Draw the belly up again, take a breath in. Lift the legs and the upper body, keep the legs still. Release down with the upper body. Keep gently squeezing to the bottom. Feel like you're reaching back towards your toes. Legs come down this time, release. 2 more sets. Keep the eye gaze to the ground. Just lower your upper body and then squeeze your shoulder blades together as you turn your palms in. Once more. If you have had enough with your legs, you can keep them down and just do your 4 lifts through your upper body this time. Or keep those legs squeezed nice and strong. once more. And then release all the way back and down. Bring your arms forward. Thumbs towards the ceiling. We're going to keep one arm still and we're going to move with the other arm. So what I'd like you to do from here is draw your tailbone to your heels, lift your head and your shoulders, and lift for your L. Just take one arm to a Y, to a T, and then come down to your thigh. Come back in line with your shoulder, and then change sides. So to your Y, to your T, and then pull your hand, touch your hip. Keep the shoulders drawn back and down, your thumb points the ceiling, and then you lower down. And again, we lift. Keep your thumb to the ceiling, your palm turns to the floor on your Y, touch your thigh, come back into your T, turn your thumb back up, change sides. And if you find this difficult, you can just stay here and do a little reach forward, and then you can lower down. If you're okay with these, nice and strong through the back, open, pull the shoulder blade back this time and let your chest lift a little higher. Gently drawing the tailbone towards the heels. And we're just going to do that one last time. Remember, you can just stay here and lift. Take a little reach forward and pull back. When you've completed your last one, if you've got the arms out nice and long, when you finish, just going to bring your hands back by your ribs. Squeezing the elbows and give yourself a push up off the floor. Hands under your shoulders and bring your knees in under your hips. Let the chin tuck in and draw your belly up to your back. A little bit more rotation. Lengthen your spine so your back's nice and long. Just your right arm. We're just going to do 4 little turns. Turning your head so your eye gaze follows your hand. Now I've got 6 more, and you're going to extend the opposite leg away. You can either touch your hand and your knee down in the middle, or you can stay with that leg lift. Breathe out as you open, hover or touch down, and one more time, bracing your core as you open, and then bring the hand down. Left arm this time. So your shoulders are back. Back's not arched, so your belly's lifted. Just find that little rotation. And as you're finding that rotation, you're trying to keep the stability through your hips. And then once you've all got that, add in the leg. So as you draw your arm back, your right leg slides away, hover, or you can touch down. Use the out breath to turn, in breath to centre. 3 more. Squeeze a straight leg at the back for 2, 1, and you can rest it all back down. Hand under your shoulder, and again, just gently pull the hips back and release your wrists. Just make them circle, or just flex them backwards and forwards. Okay, let's have a lie on our side next. Get comfortable. And as you come into your side lying position, we're thinking of our alignment. From your ears to your ankles, your shoulder back. 10 side leg raises, 10 heel to bum, and 10 arches. Then we'll drop them to 5s, and no, we'll drop them to 4s, 2s, and we'll do single rounds. Extend your top leg, squeeze your thighs, brace your core, and let's go. 10 down. As you're lifting your leg, really strong thigh, so you're squeezing the front of your thigh. You're going to get your foot no higher than your shoulder, so it's keeping the work in the outer thighs. You've got 3 left here. 3, 2, hold on your 1, take your heel to your bottom for 10. Now again, as you extend your leg, don't fling through your knee, just gently squeezing the front of your thigh. You're flexing and extending through your toes, so it's your heel to your bottom and your toes point on the extension. And then we bring the leg forward into our arch. So you're trying to get the trunk of your body still, just roll your toe forward and then pull it back. Keep your leg up in line with your shoulder. Squeeze your bum as you pull the leg back, And then you can try and make your arch just a little bit bigger, or a lot bigger. 5 more. Brace your core as you pull back. Try and keep the hand nice and light on the ground. Easier said than done. And then let's go back to that side leg raise. Just do 4. 4, lift. 3, lift. 2, hold at the top, back with the heel. 4, squeeze the thigh straight, but don't fling the knee. Come forward 4 times. So you can get that leg a little bit further as we start to get more stretch, more movement into the hips. And then hold in here and back to your side leg raise for 2 this time. Heel back for 2. You can do anything for 2. And then 2 arches. Just 1 of each. Say I'm being kind. 1 heel raise. Bring the leg forward. Squeeze the thigh, straight leg. Upper leg staying still. Leg sweeping forward. And 2 more rounds. 1. Take it back. Try and touch your big toe on the floor. And your last one. Shall we release it? By doing 1 more movement. Sweep in and push out. So as you're bringing your knee forward, little stretch into the glutes. As you're pushing your leg away, a nice straight leg. Just another 5. 4, breathe out. And then on your last one, you get to rest briefly, but enough time to give you a bum rub if you need it. Then you're going to have a roll over. And we're going to do that again on the other side. My legs have had a pretty good workout today. So as you come into your side lying position, I'm guessing nobody's going out for a nice walk anywhere today, not for a long one anyway. Ankles, knees and hips in a nice straight line. Let your head rest, let your shoulders relax. Tummy in, side leg raised, 10 and lower. Now to keep squeezing the front of your thigh, so when you're lifting your leg, it's nice and straight all the way through. Now try and squeeze your bottom thigh as well. That's going to make you work a little bit harder for your balance. Next one, stay at the top, bring your heel back, in, out, shake it all about, do the hokey cokey. And I'll stop singing because it's painful enough as it is. And give me 5 more, squeeze the thigh, don't flick through the knee. And keep that knee pointing out to the diagonal. And then let's do our arches, so small or big. And again, as you're bringing the leg forward, you're just feeling that stretch through your glutes. And you're also again challenging your core muscles to keep the upper body nice and still. And if you're anything like me, you're sweating quite a lot today because it's quite muggy. It's like hot yoga without the yoga. And ready to go again from the beginning. 5 side leg raises, legs straight and lower and lift. Squeeze both thighs. Try and make your top leg a little bit longer than your bottom leg. And then your heel coming back to your bottom. In, squeeze. It's supposed to be in 4. I'm adding extra ones on. 4 arches. I won't be that cruel for this one. See how far forward you can get your leg without your upper body rolling. Little brace through the core as you pull your leg back. And then holding at the top. 2s this time. 1, 2. Heel back. Don't rush. Gently squeeze the front of your thigh. Arching forward. The good news is you've only got 1 of each. Bad news is you have to do it 4 times. Roll into the toes. And again, lower. Take it back. Roll it forwards. Remember there's that nice release bit at the end. You're not thinking it's nice. I know. Heel back. It's as nice as it gets. Hold your leg up straight. Pull the knee forward so you're stretching here and then squeeze and push. Breathe in. So again, just getting those hips moving a slightly different direction. So you can bring your knee a little higher. You're already halfway. Last 5. Out and push. Brace. And again. I think you've got 2 left. Our bottom's open, there's only 2 left. And release. You might want to roll onto your back after you've had a rub of your bottom. And then from here, we're just going to pick up the right foot onto your left thigh. Knees are at 90 degrees. And what you're going to do from here is just gently push the knee forward to release that hip. And then ease it off. So push and release. And gently press your left hip down to the floor. So when you push your right knee forward, that left hip stays really grounded. If you want to, you can take your hands behind your left thigh, gently draw it in towards the chest. Gently press your right knee forward. And breathe right into your hips. As you breathe out, try and relax your shoulders, your neck, maybe your bottom, if you will, relax. And then change over legs when you're ready. So your left on your right. Again, you can just gently encourage the knee forward. You want to super glue your left hip down to the floor so the hips don't rock. And that's going to encourage more stretch through the glutes and the outer thighs. Now you can just simply hold the knee forward with a mild stretch, or deepen your stretch, hands behind your right thigh and gently hugging the knee in. Shoulders and neck nice and relaxed. Tucking the chin so you're lengthening the back of your neck. See if you can push your left knee a little further forward. And breathe a lot right into the hips. And then let it all come down. Okay, from here, you're just going to bring the soles of your feet together, hands onto your knees, and you're gently going to press your knees down towards the ground. So you're looking at that stretch through the inner thighs, but you're also making sure that your back doesn't really lift off the ground. So if it is lifting, bring the knees in a little, pull the belly down so the back's pressing gently to the ground, then let the knees drop to the side. Now you can make this a more active stretch by placing your hands on your thighs and actively pressing down. Breathing in again, and then breathe out, let the knees go a little deeper whenever you're ready. Still keeping that core connected right to the very end. And then you can put your hands under your knees, you can push them in. Take your left leg out straight and lift your right knee up. Your left hand to the outside of your right knee. And what you're going to do from here is just gently pull the knee across your body. Trying to keep your right shoulder pressed into the floor. Then turn your head and look down your right arm. Take a nice big breath in. And use your out breath to let your knee go a little further. Relax through the lower back. And then change sides. So you're bringing your right leg in, take it out straight. Your left knee lifts. And then from here, just take your right hand onto the outside of your knee and gently encourage the knee across. Keep your shoulders anchored to the ground. Take a nice big breath in. Almost feel like you're taking your breath into your lower back. And then relax your lower back and let the knee go a little further. Turn your head, look down your left arm, And when you're ready, you can just hug the knees back into the centre and take a roll up or a roll over onto all fours if you prefer. Hands under your shoulders, knees into the hips, and just lift your hips up. You're going to walk your feet out, just bring a little release into your calves. Gently pressing the heel back towards the floor. Try not to let the hips rock. And you're going to then try and press both heels down and give your tailbone a little lift. Trying to encourage your chest towards your thighs. Then when you're ready, bend your knees and take a step in. Elbows on thighs or fingers to toes. With your chin tucked in and your belly lifted nice and high. So you're just releasing any tension through the spine. Letting the head hang, letting the chin tuck in. And then take a nice big breath in. You can walk your hands up your shins, or you can just gently restack your spine. So the head lifts, a little wiggle of the hair, roll your shoulders. And then when you're ready, just make the arms a little bit bigger, just to open up the chest again. And applaud yourself, ladies and gents. Very well worked. Super hot this morning. Good work, everybody. Well done. I hope that's brightened up a dull day for you.